Tune it up. Wait, start it up.
Start it up.
Turn it up. Turn it up. There it is. Turn it up.
He's rusty.
Or tune it up. Yeah, actually, tune it up.
I've only been speaking Spanish for the last week. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show. Air horns, laughter, excitement, vibes. Everything is here. You know what's not here? LeBron James.
What?
LeBron James. Can you believe it, man?
Yes.
Me too, actually. Very believable. No idea why. We'll talk about all of that as well as some other game notes. We're going to get into the seeding. How important is it for the Nuggets to get the number one? We're going to talk about other stuff. We're not going to talk about LeBron and the Lakers. We'll talk about other stuff. Seeding, connectivity, and how to bet a game that's absolutely absurd.
Staggering.
Dev has the toughest job tonight. How the hell do you bet this game? That's more or less what we came up with.
Figure it out.
I got the fellas with me, though, tonight. I got Brendan Vogt here.
Where were you again? I don't remember.
I went to Mexico.
Oh, cool. Was it fun?
Yeah.
Nice.
Over here, I got D-Line.
What's up, guys? I didn't go anywhere. I've been here for a very long time.
A very, very long time. Sleep. He took a little nap on the couch. I saw him earlier.
I wasn't sleeping, but I wished that I was.
You weren't? What are you doing? Scrolling the timeline?
Maybe.
Is that how you unplug?
I unplugged by plugging in on a different device.
So true. And then over here, Superstar Dev.
I was practicing when you were gone. Bueno, señor Adam Mares. ¿Cómo está? Muy bien.
Wow, dude. You're so good, man.
Those were Spanish
That
words.
was really good.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
I used to really study that Dora the Explorer thing. I used to watch it. They used to have foxes and stuff.
Yeah, no swiping, dude.
That was more offensive than my Australian
I was
accent.
gonna
Just
say,
so you know.
I was gonna
That was worse than me doing
I said
Australian.
real words.
You did say real words. I think I do as well when I say Australia. All right. Lakers are playing, but they're short a few key guys, I think. They're top three, if you will. They're big three.
Let's get into the game notes, shall we? And gentlemen, these are the facts. The Lakers are without Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And what's his name? Austin Reeves.
Did you really forget his name?
I did. Yeah, I did. And
Are you the Charles Barkley of this panel?
Lonnie.
I would have guessed that was Eric.
Yeah, so Austin Reeves is
What the
out.
hell's his name?
Yeah. Who he play for? I never heard of Austin
For real though,
Reeves.
this is kind of the Lakers totem pole. Like AD and LeBron, they're out. Okay, who's maybe one of the next guys they're worried about? Russ, but Austin Reeves is in there. Okay,
Yeah.
he can't play. Well, who shoots at least better for them than some other guys? Lonnie Walker. Well, he's out as well. Troy Brown Jr., he's also out.
Man.
So this is trap game territory for the Nuggets.
Real question I want to ask the panel over here. Are the Nuggets so scary that teams are starting to use their rest nights against Denver?
Answer, yes. I saw somebody.
Honest to God.
I swear to God, I saw somebody before the Cleveland, like 3 or 4 days before the Cavs game against the Nuggets. They were like,
That's right.
Donovan Mitchell, they probably should just punt on that Denver game. It's good, even though they didn't play the night before or after. It was like,
Denver's
what?
on the second night of a back-to-back.
Seriously, it was like, what? All right, fine.
Yeah.
But for real, like the combination of like how good Denver is and just like the forever boogeyman, the altitude.
That's so true.
I think it's a real thing. I'm going to go back to that Cleveland game. If you
Let's
have
go
a
back.
good game, it's like, okay, I need to get back on the floor. When you have the best game that you've ever had in your entire life,
Right.
know.
and you're like, I'm going to sit,
Like,
there's something more to that. Like, there's way deeper. Not injured in any way whatsoever. You looked at it, you were just like, I'll get myself going in a different way. That's crazy to me. Like, I know that the altitude has to play some type of factor, but there's also something to, like, the fact of, like, not showing people, like, things and also not going against that group right there. I think that there's a lot more strategic matters for it.
I love the fact that the Nuggets stock report is up so high right now that teams really are like, well, we got no chance there, guys.
Right,
I mean,
yeah,
come
like
on,
it's
there's no
appointed.
chance we'll win that one.
And it's also involved in some difficult stretches of travel typically. So for a lot of teams,
That's
it's
true.
like, you know what, man? This is the scheduled loss. We're taking this L.
Even the Celtics lost by 20.
Denver
Even the Grizzlies lost by 20.
Yeah.
Denver's
Yeah.
16-3 at home, guys, and a couple of those losses likely, if not certainly, had something to do with COVID. So I think Memphis is also 16-3 at home. So those are really the two teams out west where you don't want to play there right now. This is a Lakers team that has won 5 in a row, but they're 9-13 on the road.
Can I tell you this, though? And this is real. Somebody put this in Twitter, but I was thinking the same thing. when I saw LeBron was out, I actually got disappointed. Usually in years past, you're like, oh man, what a break for the Nugs. Yeah, like a win. I was like, you know what? No, we were going to smack them. I wanted to smack. Like,
That's true.
I'm feeling so confident in this team right now that I want the challenges. I'm like, hey, no, bring on the challenge.
That is a real like change in like Nug life. I really do remember guys being out and you be excited. Like this is one that Denver gets to sneak away with, or they could get. Now you're like, you take it personal. Like, hey, you start thinking of the fan and things like that. Like, you're like, man, I really want everyone to be able to enjoy LeBron James and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a great evolution in spot to be in, where you think that you're getting ducked.
Well, consider this too. Like the Lakers, a half game out of the play-in conversation, they've won 5 in a row. This was once a matchup where you would think they would get excited for, hungry for, let's go get the 6th one in a row here. It's Denver. But that's not how they're approaching this one for one reason or another. Now it's Denver's job to stay focused because, as we'll talk about in a bit here, seeding could be pretty important this year. From the pregame for Michael Malone, just a couple of quotes worth sharing. There was a good question to him about, it was from our friend Ryan Blackburn, about Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray's improvements this year.
No.
For Michael, this is a quote now. For Michael, I think it's the defensive awareness, the defensive intensity. I think he's improved so much on that end because I think he's trying, and I think it matters to him. I think for Michael, that's an easy one. He's played well this year, and I think he's moving really well on both ends. So obviously his defense and playing without the basketball is really improved. End quote. For Jamal, quote, and I think for Jamal, as that knee has gotten better, he's checked those boxes along the way. That first back-to-back recently, he's now getting back to impacting the game across the board, not just with his scoring. Needs to be a plus defender for us, playmaker, and get everybody involved. Needs to be a guy with his size and strength that can rebound at a high level every night. When he starts doing that consistently, I think that's when we're all going to know that he's back to being at the level, that he's back. Is he back? Maybe even a higher level than we've seen him before, which would be fun to watch.
Man, if he's at a higher level, it is going to be fun to watch.
He's back to a higher level.
You know what does seem, and we've talked about this, to me, what seems nearing 100% is just the way he and Jokic are sharing the ball on the floor together. So I do think it's not been a consistent four-quarter thing for Jamal, but you have seen sprinkles of pretty sure that's the guy they'll see in fourth quarters in the playoffs for sure.
I mean, the fourth quarters have been great for him. And honestly, this last stretch, I mean, the Nuggets, I was away for some great wins for the Nuggets.
True.
And one bad loss.
Coincidence?
One bad loss. I was also gone for one bad loss. I was doing the math because I knew you were going to say this. They went 2-1, which is the same record they had been for the 3 weeks prior to that. So they'd won 2 out of 3 for the previous. But the point is, the Jamal Murray to me has looked quicker. He's looked sharper. But what I like most about it is I think Murray has looked better, but his numbers haven't necessarily reflected like a level up, which is important to me.
Yep.
Jokic is better than ever. Are his numbers higher than ever? No, because it's not needed. And that's the thing that I think is most important is as Murray gets better, I hope it manifests itself the way it has so far, which is that the team is better and it's not needed. Does that make sense?
Yes. For me, it's like when Murray is like actually back, like you're saying, it's not that he's pouring in 40 points. It's that he's playing with confidence.
Yep.
He looks like the decisions he's making are intentional and not just like the limit of what he's able to accomplish.
Right.
So, he's looking more and more confident. The last couple of games, it's like, that's Jamal Murray. Stepping into threes, being shot ready.
Oh, he looks so good.
Down,
shot ready. Love that.
You're right, Eric.
It's like everything. It's so, yeah, man, like that's it.
All right. You guys, let's talk about this number 1 seed. Because the Nuggets are the current number 1 seed, and I'm looking at this in the standing. I don't know if you guys have been playing around with the standings lately.
Been looking.
The separation has arrived. Remember, we're always waiting for that. It's all jumbled up. Mm-hmm. It's still jumbled up in other spots, but not at the top. The top right now, you've got Nuggets and Grizzlies who are tied with 13 losses. Remember, losses you can't make up. Some teams have played more games or whatever. Losses you can't make up. Here's the thing. New Orleans is 3 losses back. They're still within striking distance, but 3 is a meaningful amount. Okay,
it's the magic number.
Dallas is 5. The Kings are 5. After that, the Warriors are now 7 losses back. The Clippers are now 8 losses back. So the Nuggets' chance of not being a top 4 seed now are super high. I would guess if you were to do the math on this, Denver is probably like a 90% chance or 95% chance of being a top 3 or 4 seed. And more to the point, The Clippers are 21-21. We're about at the halfway point, which means if the Clippers went 26-13, extremely unlikely, and the Nuggets went 21-21, extremely unlikely, they'd be tied with 4 games left in the season. Denver's almost has a lock on a top 4 seed at the moment, or top 5 seed, I should say.
Yeah, and the Clippers have shown me the most uninspired basketball I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like I don't believe in the Clippers at all.
I'm having conversations with friends, like other media members, that are like, does Kawhi not like basketball?
Dude.
Honestly, they're
does
trying to make sense of how he has approached the season.
Does Paul George not like basketball? Does Reggie Jackson not like basketball? Do any of them like basketball?
Yeah, but we're at the fun spot of course, the separation looks great, and just seeing that you don't have to win every single game, so like the margin for error makes it a little bit better. But also, it's looking at the bottom and seeing who you can escape, and also who's down there. Like, I'm starting to see polls of which of these teams is not going to make the playoffs, and it has like Golden State, Suns, Lakers, and I'm like, oh, that's the great spot to be in, where you're not having to fight, and they're going to have to work hard, and guys are going to have to come back, and you have to stay healthy, and there's so many other things that you have to put into account, where you have Denver, who you could cause enough separation that you get to rest guys. You get to like not have Jamal Murray like play a lot of minutes, or he gets to rest on these type of. The Lakers are doing this on a 6-game winning streak or 5-game winning streak or whatever, and they still have to hope that LeBron comes back and he's really not injured. So like it does make sense to punt on certain games, even though it sucks. But Denver avoiding that spot, that's the best spot to be in.
Here's the flip side though, Vogt. The Nuggets are 1, Memphis 2. Those teams are almost a lock to be up top. New Orleans is close to a lock to be up top. So who does that leave left in the middle here? Dallas, Sacramento, Clippers, Warriors, Suns. Like, there's some good teams that now you look at the bracket and you go, number 1 seed, home court all the way throughout. That'd be huge. Denver's never done that, by the way, in the NBA. Number 1 seed in the West. So that alone would be kind of a cool milestone. But there is a chance, if you look at the standings, that Lakers, Suns, maybe Warriors, although I don't really think so, but Lakers, Suns maybe end up being an 8 seed, maybe Portland. Look, I don't think any of those teams are good, but they are, or I think the Warriors are. But those other teams, like, can they make the move? Can they be healthy at the right time where it's like, now you got to go against a healthy LeBron, a healthy AD?
Yes, but I think this year, to this point, the Nuggets are showing great signs of being the number 1 team you don't want to play out west.
Yeah.
They're the ones who knocked, right?
Totally.
And so I think, especially with how well they're playing at home, which, with the exception of last year, has largely been a trait of this team in the Jokic-Malone tenure, but I feel like it's at another level right now. Yeah. I think they're a juggernaut in ball arena.
Dude, that's exactly it, man. It is time for a paradigm shift. Like, it is time. Nug life, whatever. It is Nug hype time. Like, we started off this whole first part of the season just miserable, like we were losing games.
We weren't even losing games.
That's the thing.
We were winning.
That's what I was just about to say. Like, it was like it didn't feel right. We weren't winning in the way that we all preferred. But then we look up and we were like, oh, we're better than everybody. Like we're and I mean, I swear to God, like now teams are like, now that we're 2 years into this Jokic being the best player in the world and everyone has to acknowledge a thing. Like, there are teams that are like, oh, my God, dude. Like, we got to play Jokic in the first goddamn round. Like, I hope we get Phoenix in the first round.
And with home court advantage, I think any team should be like Nuggets in Denver tonight. Oh, no thank you.
I had to pose the question this way because it's an interesting way to pose it, but I think I'm with you, man. I mean, look, there's a lot of season left to play. We'll see how the Nuggets continue to go. We'll see how other teams continue to go. They could look good at the end. But I am at the point, too, where I'm kind of like, Denver should be favored full strength versus full strength against just about anyone, if not anyone. And so this idea of years past of like, well, that's not a good matchup. It's like, there are good and bad matchups, but the bad matchups, Denver still is so good. I think they can win. I'm at that point too. Dev, where are you at?
I'm at that point, and it's a scary spot to be at.
It kind of is.
Because really, we haven't seen. I think that there's still a better Nuggets team. Like,
I do
with
too.
This exact same group. Which is scary. The number 1 team out west is still not at their best.
Yep.
And I think that's what separates like the best teams, or like the teams that win the title, is they find a way to level up to close out the year and to into the playoffs. And I think Denver has a chance to do that. I think that's why it's important when you look back at the other segments of like Jamal not having to go full throttle, Jokic not having the same stats as like years past, but still being the same type of player, being able to find a bench unit and tinker with that unit and also not have the defense. So for them to be this good and for me to already be this hype and still feel like they could get better, I don't know how you're not like all the way at the,
Dude, get on board.
I'm telling you. I think most people are kind of feeling this way. Keep it going, man. Like the Nuggets have a lot more home games up before you go on the road. The back half of the schedule will get tough. You do have some longer road trips out there, but I just feel like Denver's rallied. They figured it out. And to your point, Dev, that's the thing that's so exciting. The Nuggets have found the groove that's important stylistically, in my opinion. They found the groove. But there's still another level defensively I think they get to. And then Michael Porter, like, he still doesn't have his athleticism back. He talked about it the other day, but he seemed confident at practice the other day that it's coming. That it wasn't like, yeah, I don't have it, I have to adjust to my new life. It was more of like, yeah, like I get better a little bit every, now that I'm back and I just want to get more and more momentum, then I will have that pop back. Jamal Murray is getting some more pop back. And let's be honest, one of the reasons the Nuggets have been on a good run here is because the bench has been better, but the bench still is a negative over the last 10 games. The bench still has a lot more room to get better, to improve. If they do. But I'm saying, look, what I'm saying is, we knew it. We thought they had another level in them. We think that there's a whole other level to them, and I agree.
Dude, I still don't even know what we're saying, who we're talking about when we say the bench.
Non-Jokic.
It's different every. Different every night. It's like sometimes it's KCP. Sometimes there's 3 starters on the floor with the non-Jokic players. I mean, for me, like when I look at this team, like this second half of the year is like figuring out all of the various combinations and how they can all work together, or how they can all congeal into something like really lethal. I mean, we've seen different combinations of players working more and more. Like the starters are like those guys we got no issues with, and now it's like, okay, how can we best play these cards? Like for me, the second half of the season is all about Malone, honestly.
Yeah. Malone, I will say, great mood lately. Really great mood at practice the other day. And speaking of practice, he used a very interesting word. Connectivity. He said the team's playing very connected, which is, one of my favorite words. George Karl, it was like one of his big words. Teamless. And I have to say, that's the thing about these last couple wins, last 5-6 wins, whatever it's been, that has you the most excited is the team seems to all be finding a rhythm with each other. It's not, Jokic is on a heater right now. Right. Murray's on a heater.
That's the best part.
It's just like, man, this team just knows how to play. Yeah. And it's coming easier and easier to them. We always talk about the Nuggets find that connectivity in a course of a game and then lose it, then find it, and they kind of do this. Over the last couple of games, to me, Dev, what's been so exciting is the connection's been there, and it's just like they find it so easy.
At this point of the year, to be able to talk about like the connectivity and everyone being on the same accord while you're in the West, while you're still trying to figure it out, while you could still reach another level, has to be the best spot for a coach, for a team to be in, where it's not like last year where it's just Jokic and the guys. You're not seeing those type of things. So there's not one person that's getting all the attention. Everybody seems to be on the same accord. So this feels like a real contender. This feels like a real team that could go in and win it all. And for it to be coming from within, from the inside, not us speculating, not everyone guessing, but the inside saying, hey, we're all on the same page. Great spot.
God, I'm so confident, and I cannot wait for the Nuggets to blow this and just for all of Nuggets Nation to just implode tonight. It's gonna be
it's not gonna. Honestly, I'm over it. I don't think it's going to happen. Like, I think the Nuggets will show up.
And I also think for me, it's not about, these are all automatic wins or anything like that. It's being realistic about they're realistically in this contender group. And to me, the 1 seed matters even more than years past because they are so good at home that's the context under which I would start to feel really, really good. Obviously, you respect every opponent along the way, but I think Denver has shown at home that they're the team that should be feared and respected on that floor.
Here's the other thing I wanted to ask you, though, Vogt, is yesterday at practice, Michael Malone, the other part of this that makes me excited is they've been playing defense lately. They still room to grow on that end, but it's been good. I think they're top 6. I think they're 6th in defense over the last 10 games or something like that. It's been an improvement. But the thing that that Malone said was they put that on the Jumbotron the other day at practice. Nuggets defensive rating over the last 10 or whatever. And he said the guys were fired up about it. And he was like, I always try to teach, why do you win? The team needs to know. And I asked him, do you feel like that message, though, is clear? And he said yes. Like, the team is starting to talk about it. Like, hey, we know. And it's coming from communication, he says, that the guys are talking more. To me, that's what gets me excited. The offense, it's always good. the fact that the team seems to understand what's required of them defensively is the part that you're like, all right, they can string some along.
100%. That quote about AG being the guy who's talking is interesting too, because I think we recently compared him during some of the low points of this season to Paul Millsap as a guy who maybe doesn't do all of that stuff. But in this specific regard, being vocal, that was cool to hear about. And I've said this several times on this show, but I love hearing that the players and the coaches feel like that was a big part of the problem and that's what they fixed, because it's what KCP said before they played their first game.
Right.
So the communication isn't there yet. So that it is a thing that is teachable, learnable, and maybe coming into fruition is, I think, encouraging insofar as like it might be sustainable. It might be a real corner they've turned, not just shot luck working out in their favor.
Let's get a big win tonight, Nugs. Come on.
Let's go,
Take care of business. You've been beating the good teams. Now you get a bad team coming through. Let's beat the bad teams. And plus, I think the Nuggets, this is why I think you might be wrong. I mean, again, who knows? We'll wait and see.
Oh, I'm wrong, but I'm also like...
Maybe right. But here's the thing. I think the team likes the groove they're in, and you don't want to mess with that. When you're you know this, Dev. When you're like personally on a heater, you're not going to mess around. You're like every game you're playing because you're like, I'm on fire right now. I'm going to keep it going.
Unless you're Donovan Mitchell. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
You really do want to keep it going in every single way. And also, you see the praise that you're getting for the things that you weren't doing before. Yeah. They weren't getting all of this attention when they were just winning games. Now they're starting to play defense.
Right.
Now they're starting to reel off a couple of wins in a row. Now the offense is like caught up, where you're like, okay, I didn't even, we're still just playing our same game, what we think, but now we're excited about playing defense. And that's when you could be a very dangerous team. Yeah. But yeah, just keep that streak going, stay connected, just keep winning.
This is the type of game that you really want to see growth in the Denver Nuggets, where they just they play a bad opponent and they just beat the hell out of them.
Yep.
They don't play
Stay in the groove.
Just move
Warriors used to do this. It was a party every time. You know what's fun? The best part about a game like tonight, when it's like, all right, well, maybe the drama isn't there, LeBron, AD. You still bet on it. You can place your bet, so now you have a secondary thing to go on.
Let's go. Yeah, even if the Nuggets win, you can still,
take us to DraftKings here.
DraftKings. They keep tricking us. They want us to come back every single game. They don't care if LeBron's playing or not. They don't care. Nuggets come into this game against the surging LA Lakers as a massive 13-point favorite.
Holy smokes, 13?
Yeah, they have no LeBron.
That's gotta be
no Anthony Davis.
Dude, that's got to be the biggest spread of the year.
No.
So
for
far.
them?
I think, no. Nuggets had a 14 against Houston.
Did they really?
And one out of the two times they beat it.
Yeah, I mean, they're about to get beat to sleep. Everybody knows it. Everybody sees it coming. Imagine paying all that money and you're going to see Patrick Beverley.
Trust me, a lot of people did.
Good.
You're going to see a lot of chin strap bros at the arena tonight.
You got it super early, too.
What's going on here?
Patrick Beverley and Thomas Bryant. Like, this was this was somebody's birthday gift. I mean, not birthday, Christmas
gift.
Oh, man. Yeah, they're going to get beat to sleep. I just think 13 is it's too high. I still think they're going to hit it. Denver's going to blow them out. Denver's blowing them out, man.
Dev's confidence. We have to switch me and Dev on the confidence meter. His confidence might be.
Dev's out of control.
Really out of control.
I've been out of control. I say it now. For the over-under, I don't see how this team is supposed to score, and they have their points way, way too high. I think that Denver wants to make their stamp defensively, and they've been putting them together as of late. They have the line at 237, and that's solely because I think that they just know that the Nuggets are going to be able to score every single time.
137 to 100 is what they're predicting here.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But it could happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I got the under in this game, under 237. But if you wanted to just say, hey, Denver's going to score every time, you could just go over to the team totals and get the Lakers under. I think I would like that a little bit more. For the Lakers, there's tons of unders to like here. Russell Westbrook points, that's one that I like under. They have it at 20
Dude,
and a half.
I love a spiteful under.
Dude,
Man,
they have 20 and a half.
love a
Russ gonna go
spiteful
off?
under.
I don't think so. I think he will in different ways. I don't think that he's going to score the 20 and a half. And that's I don't see the offensive explosion, but I do think that
everything in our power to manifest a Lakers win tonight.
Yeah,
We've done
really have. We really have.
everything.
I don't know, man.
We're sailing away on a boat called.
I think that he gets his. There's the over assist and rebounds at 16 and a half. I do think that he'll get that, so I'll take the over 16 and a half.
While Dev is giving these overly confident bets, we have 666 viewers.
Oh no! Oh, hey, the reverse double.
Yeah,
The reverse double.
That's true.
The reverse double.
Let go.
That would be 999. Yeah,
That's good.
I also like the 27 and a half points and rebounds for Thomas Bryant. That man has looked like an all-star lately.
Yeah.
Like, they need to go test that man. Something is like not up. I don't know what the hell that's
Jokic, by
about.
the way, needs to sun him because he got the better of Jokic in the last game, and I'm pissed about it.
Me too.
Honestly, like what it comes
You need
from
to
is
sun a guy when he gets you.
he's such a relentless like player. Like he's just playing with will the entire time. Jokic is like finesse. He's a high IQ guy. Luckily for Jokic, he doesn't have to outwork him because I don't think you are gonna. But you're just so much better than him that yeah, it's time to get your get back. You got to remember these type of games. I think that this is a time. Now on to Denver. The good things. I'm a bit nervous about like their guys just because they could blow them out. Like we've seen them put in that spot where guys are just not playing late in the game. So I think that they're going to have to get off to a hot start. So I'm going to do like the easier type of bets. Let's start with a fun one. I like Jokic over 3.5 rebounds in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think that the Lakers are going
to
try to get out and run
And
and
they
try
have
to prove.
that. They have that. Where's that at?
Yep, you
Quarters?
go to rebounds.
You go to rebounds.
Then
Okay.
you go, like scroll all the way to the bottom and they have the Jokic rebounds.
First quarter, Jokic rebounds. Wow, what a find, Dev. I'm in.
Yep,
These
3.5.
Yeah, these are great.
They're low. I think they're going to try to get off to like a quick start.
Yeah.
They're going to miss.
They're gonna
He's
miss.
going to grab every single
All
one
right.
that comes his way. I also like Aaron Gordon's combo of steals and blocks. You could put them together for over 1.5. I think that is going to be the steals just because I think that they're just going to be playing too fast and they get careless. I think that he's going to be the guy that grabs the steals, and you know how they do it in Denver. They give it to the guy that ends up with the ball.
Yeah, the juice on that's terrible though. Oh wait, steals and blocks.
Yep, steals and blocks.
135. All right.
Let's go with Murray's
I'm getting
three-pointers.
wild out here betting on all these Dev bets.
Yeah. You don't have to do every one of them.
Well, I am.
Take the ones you like. Let's go Murray's three-pointers. I got it at 1.5, and I just feel like that feels low. We've seen him. He could start out making his first 2 threes in the game. Like it's just
He could.
It's just type of guy that
It's
he
a
is.
thing he could do.
Also, while we're sticking on three-pointers, we're gonna take a
Nishan Bones. Oh, Jokic.
Jokic three-pointer.
Oh.
It doesn't have great juice, but I do think that it's gonna hit. So
It's worth
you
the
only need
squeeze.
one. I like
The
that.
bad juice is worth the squeeze.
You
I
know-
like that. And for the lock of the
Why
night.
is Jokic taking a 3 tonight though?
Because he's been on fire, man. He's been
He's
hitting
been knocking
threes.
them down at a
He's
high rate.
feeling it. I think he
He's
likes
feeling it. Yeah, he
man.
likes
likes the shot right now.
It makes it easier for him to go inside too. For the lock, I like Bones Highland in this game.
What?
I think he's going to play a lot of minutes.
Yup.
I think that he's going to be able to score with ease. It's a game against the Lakers. I know he has it circled on his schedule, on
Yup.
his calendar.
That's right.
Yup.
He's going to get the people going. So I'm going to take his over on points. It's at only 13.5. I think he could get that in threes alone. I do.
It might be a Bones night,
But I
man.
do
Especially
13.5.
He wanted to play. He wanted to close. He wanted more minutes. You get
Yeah,
up
man.
big. This is the night you make up for it with 30 minutes. You know,
This
you
is
get a bunch.
dude, this is such a Bones night.
I hope it's a Bones night, man. Playing an LA crowd, eyeballs will be on it. I'm with you. I'll tell you, I took the parlay, single game parlay, plus 336 when you use your DraftKings boost. I took 2 threes from Jamal, 2 threes from Bones, 2 threes from Michael Porter. You know what? It's tough to get all 3 of those guys hitting, but
It's
isn't
raining.
that tough?
I hope none of you took TCU.
Why
That's
would I
not
do
going
that?
well. That's
Yeah,
not
it's not
going well. over there.
We do get 2 super chats, guys, before we get out of here. What do we got, Kel? It's always so small.
From Joseph
I can never
Zigman,
read these.
DraftKings has the over-under on rim replacements at 0.5. I'm taking the over.
Take the over, baby.
Oh, man. What if we got a rim replacement tonight?
Dude, if we get a
My
rim
God.
replacement tonight, I will.
Someone's fired.
Someone's fired.
yeah, like
We
it
get a-
stops being funny, and like now, then we have to launch a real investigation.
Oh, crap.
I told Wynn to bring a book tonight. Denver Smuggets, $5. This has definitely been my kind of DNBA show. No! I love
Crap,
you.
we might lose.
Glad to hear you guys are feeling how I'm feeling. Let's hope the Lakers take that L on the way out.
And just as a reminder, that is not me.
Yeah, we didn't say it. I
That
read
is
his
not
name,
my
but I
account.
didn't say it.
All right, we're gonna go down to the bar. We got some homies in the house. We're gonna go watch the Nuggets with them. Hit that like on the way out.
Let's go.